It looks like this is going to be everyone. So I'd like to welcome everyone for today. Good morning. Welcome to today's webinar on what are the benefits of role-based access control to admin users and end users in FileCloud. In today's webinar, we will be talking about what is FileCloud's role-based access control feature, what are the benefits of using role-based access control, and how does it work. What is role-based access control feature? So FileCloud's role-based access control feature enables a main FileCloud admin to create different levels of admin roles to restrict access to different admin portal components. The different admin roles can also be assigned to promoted admins or admin users or to a group. Now, what are the benefits of using role-based access control? So one, it allows FileCloud admin to define different levels of access for admin portal components. Two, roles can be assigned to promoted users or groups. Three, users can be assigned to multiple roles, and ultimately permissions now are broken down into read, create, update, and delete. So now let's take a look at how role-based access control works. Let me go ahead and log into my admin portal. From the admin portal, you can go into the navigation panel and you could see admins. You may notice here that it may look different. This is now the new interface for the admin portal. You will see here that you could run a search for the roles or the role name. You also have a button to check user permissions, create a new role, and ultimately add an admin user. So let's start with basically adding an admin user. If you click on add admin, you will see a column here with a list of existing users in your FileCloud system. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to promote two users. One is the FC reports user to admin, and the other one is a user called Tony. I'm promoting these two users now to admin role, and I'll go ahead and click on close. Now, if we go into users, you will notice that both the FC reports and Tony here is now indicated with a crown, which means that these two users are now admin users. Let's go back to the admin view. So next thing that we're going to do here is we are going to add a new role. By the way, there's a custom role that's already pre-created for you. However, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to create two roles for this demo. One, I'll create a role for reporting. The other is I'm going to create a role to manage users in the FileCloud system. First, I'll go ahead and click role or add new role, and I'm going to create a user or a role called reports admin. What this reports admin does is that it gives this user or the admin user the ability to run reports, read, create, or update reports at the same time. So let's go ahead and find a reports entry here from the list or from the list of permissions. So I have here reports. I'm going to give this role read, create, update, and delete permissions. And I'll go ahead and click on create role. I'll go ahead and click close. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add another role, and I'm going to call this role user management. Next is I'm going to add specific permissions to the role. I'm going to give this role the ability to manage groups. However, I'm only going to give this role the ability to read through admin roles or admin users. And ultimately, I'm going to locate users, and I'm going to give this role the ability to read, create, and update users in the FileCloud system. And I'll go ahead and click on role. Now you can see here that I already have two roles created. You can see the user count, the group count, if you do have users added to the role, and if you do have a group added to the role. You could also see here permissions count, which is the number of permissions that I've added earlier. Now, The first thing is how do you add admin users to the role? So if you identify a role here, you see a button for edit, which is indicated by a pen and a paper. You go ahead and click on the edit button, and there are two tabs in the manage admin role window. I'll go into for this demo alone, I'll go into users, and you could see here a list. Notice that the list only shows 3 items. It's because it would only show users that have been promoted to admin role. For this role, I'm going to add the FC reports user by basically selecting the entry and pressing on the right arrow to move the user to the next column. And I'll go ahead and click on close. Now I'm going to add another user to the user management role. Same thing as I did earlier. Click on edit role, go into the users tab and add Tony here to be added, or select Tony to be added to the next column. You also would notice that you still have the option to add the FC reports user, even though this FC reports user belongs to the reports admin role. This is because you can add um, you can, or a single admin user can be added to multiple roles. So now I'll go ahead and click on close. So how would this look like? For this demo, I'm going to log in into another session or into another browser, and I'm going to log into the admin portal. For this admin portal, I'm going to log in using the FC reports user. Sorry, like so. Okay. So now I'm already logged in as the FC reports user, and you might notice here that I only have access to the dashboard with the statistics and the reports component in the FileCloud admin portal. So this allows my user account added to the reports row or to the reports admin role to add a report. I could also edit an existing report and ultimately delete a report. Now let's go ahead and log in with another browser. And I'm now going to log in as Tony. Sorry, I may need to log this one out. Now, logging into Tony into the admin portal, you would notice that it only has limited options. So Tony is able to click on users, also able to add users, at the same time still be able to import users from a CSV file or from your AD. I could also, or Tony is also able to add a group, be able to edit a group, and ultimately delete a group. Now let's go into admin. If you remember, going back into the user admin role here, I only gave the user management role the read privileges or the read permission for managing administrator. This means that even though that this is a user management role, this role would not be able to promote or demote a user as from a regular user to an admin user. Now let's go back into that window. And notice here that when I go to the admin's view, all I could do is see or be able to see the existing role or the existing roles in my FileCloud system, the user count, the permissions, and also be able to just check on user permissions. So I could select a user here. Let's say, for example, FC reports, perhaps. Clicking on FC reports would be able to show me what permissions have been granted to the FC reports user. Basically, read, create, and if you notice, I'm not able to modify any permissions for the role. It's because I only gave this user the read permissions for the user management role. Or I'm sorry, for the admin management component in the FileCloud admin portal. Okay. So so far, are there any questions with using role-based access control within the FileCloud system? Do we have any questions so far? I'm going to give it a couple of minutes for everyone to digest the information and perhaps maybe ask questions with regards to the discussion. Okay. It looks like we don't have any questions from everyone. So moving on, we are going to send you a copy of the recording. We are also going to update the recording into our website and getfilecloud.com /filecloud tutorials videos. If you need any assistance from us, you may send an email to support@codelate.com or visit our support documentations at getfilecloud.com /support docs. Once again, I would like to thank everybody for joining and see you in the next webinar.